Hi everyone, welcome back to Barcast TV. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of Autopilot's recent games against yours truly and see how he navigates scaling energy to get ahead in the game. So I thought it was pretty cool what Autopilot ends up doing. We'll try and showcase it, and really the name of the game here is just going up to like 5-6 energy storage, 30-40,000 energy in the bank, and that's going to allow you to do a lot of cool things at every point in the game. So I'll try and explain why he's doing this, what advantages it gives you, and how it translates to a much stronger mid game. So I think the real thing is you end up spending less money, less metal, and less build power on scaling energy. And in turn, you go up to, like we said, like multiple energy storages, right? So we'll have to see how he gets there. Pretty standard open so far. I'll try and point out like when he's actually deviating from what you might normally see players do in these like 1v1 contexts. And like we said, what advantages that gives you. So first things first, like we can take a look at like con turrets take 3,200 energy to make, right? T2 labs cost what, 15,000 is it? Yeah, 15,000. And air labs are also very expensive. I think he ends up making an air lab. We'll take a look at like bombers and how much energy those cost. So here we are. Like this is already slightly different from what you normally see. But yeah, first construction turret goes down 324, and then we'll see. Notice how he's making wins just around the commander, kind of making a little bit of a jail there. And see, there we go. First energy storage goes down at 401. Okay. Nothing too crazy. That's about when you need to make it. We have our fourth con. Second construction turret. Commander just keeps scaling win. Now I know I said like this can be a little more complicated than like at face value, because you have to still keep in mind like scaling energy to an extent in order to fill up your energy bars. But really, like we said earlier, it's like normally you might see like a couple of constructors like scaling energy along these con turrets here all around your base, and what that ends up doing is like your construction turret comes and like assists these wind turbines and then goes back to the lab. So what we'll see Autopilot doing is really just scaling energy back here after this con, caps this mechs, and he just adds a few more wins here and there underneath the construction turret, but nothing like you would normally see, right? So what, third con turret goes down 530. He's going to continue scaling a few wins over here. Full energy bar, right? So there he goes, boom, another energy storage. And then this con turret goes, this construction bot goes out to expand. So already this is like much different from what you'd normally see, right? He's got 10,000 energy in the bank. He's up on energy per second just because he's really strong. And did a really good job scaling energy with the commander compared to like, myself. He's already up 600 metal. And I guess technically is up in energy produced because he's excess less than me, right? Well, no, that's pretty even. Actually, I'm up a little bit, but let's keep going forward, right? 3 con turrets, 2 energy storage here. No additional wind scaling, right? Then with the commander, no cons. I mean, he's got 1 con over here unassisted by. And look at this. As soon as we see, okay, full energy bar, a little bit of metal in the bank, that means make an additional con turret and then another energy storage, right? This fills up. We'll make another 9 wins over here just to get up to around like 900 energy per second, 800 energy per second. Look at this. Energy bar fills back up. And now we're at 19k. Still have a little bit of metal in the bank. And we make our vehicle transition. So nothing too crazy there. Vehicles aren't that energy expensive. Still accessing a little bit right here. But here we go. We'll see him add on another energy storage, I'm sure. Yeah, see, he stops scaling wind and then just adds 2 more energy storage, because you see he's like accessing 200 energy per second, something like that. Of course, the battle is going on over here. Not really too concerned about showcasing this off. I just showcasing that. I just wanted to show like the macro style here. So like we were saying, Bombers, 4,200 energy. All right, hey, you can afford 5. Like, wind can drop to 0, and you can make 5 bombers, no sweat. Just stop your vehicle lab, of course. But look at this. 8 minutes, 30 seconds into the game. What I would say, like, minimal energy, wind scaling. What, 28 winds over here, plus another 8. Compared to this, I've kept my commander in the base the whole time, which it's been coached on. But just the 2 energy storage and a few converters, right? So what is that? Accessing a little bit less, but he has it in the bank, right? And look at that, even another energy storage, right? So we'll go up to, was that 6 energy storage, 2 cons into gunships immediately. So, and then now finally that we have 30k energy in the bank, and we're still accessing about like, what, 200? Well, wind's dropping, right? But it was around 200 energy per second, so autopilot decided to make a little round of energy converters here. I think that's the end of this game. We'll jump into the next one and show how he does something very similar on like a different map. Now, I think some caveats to mention about this is on bigger macro maps like Feast of Hades, Hades Pond, Arkham Cats Valley, hope I'm saying that right. You do end up going into more of your traditional energy scaling, but on these like medium to small size maps, the real advantage you get playing this style is you just have minimal energy scaling, which costs metal and build power, and then suddenly that's just turned into more units into the mid game, right? So we'll see him do the same thing on a different map. First, the same opponent, yours truly, right? Let's skip ahead into this. So if you made it this far, make sure you like the video, leave a comment what you think about this style. That's something you really you're willing to try out, or what you notice if it's different than how you normally play. So appreciate that. Subscribe if you are not subscribed either. So fairly standard open here, right? Just Resbot con first. No real deviation from what you normally see. We're just kind of moving through this quickly. First con expands, second con comes out, just assists the lab a little bit, trying to spend this starting metal. Get some units out to defend yourself. There we go. Third con comes out, expands, pretty normal. Commander's just spending that starting metal. And another con expanding. One thing to note is, I guess in this position you could put the commander on low priority, but I don't think he does that this game. Not quite stalling metal super hard. So we'll notice the same things again, like when the first construction turret's going down, when the energy storages are coming down, but you'll see him end up in the same place, right? So here we go. Full energy bar. Little bit of metal in the bank. No additional wind scaling just yet. I mean, he puts down one more, but we're fairly balanced right now. Of course, if we did put down a contour here, that should drain like most of our bank, like 3,200 energy. Let's just have 1,000 in the bank here. Just trying to spend that metal as it comes in. And look at this, full energy bar, metal in the bank. That means construction turret, right? We're going to make some more wins with our commander to make sure this gets built. Getting on more wins. Now, like I was saying, the tricky part of this style is like you are like making less wind turbines, so you have to be like making them at the right time to fill up your energy bar, because that's the point, is just having this energy in the bank, right? So 300 energy per second, 5 minutes. A little bit later in this game, it's not quite Sierra Lotta 25 wind speed level here, but and look at this, right? So we have the energy storage, but the energy bar isn't filled up, so continuing to scale energy with our commander and one con underneath of the construction turrets. And we'll have to note, right? So have energy in the bank, still have some metal, so we'll add another construction turret. We went up to 3. Gonna add on 9 more wins. A few more wins with our commander. All the while we're expanding, doing normal like macro stuff, fighting. Bit of a weird rally there, but those units end up getting sent out. We'll have to see, right? Wind's dropping right now, so you see how well that kind of got him through the lull. Adding on another construction turret, going up to 4. This con finished scaling wind. Commander's still adding on wind because we're trying to fill up our energy bar, so to speak, right? And we should see him add on, yeah, another energy storage, right? We're accessing almost 200 gen energy per second, right? So second energy storage goes down. We reclaim the basic solar. A third energy storage goes down, right? Let's get finished right away. Look at this. We're drawing, trying to keep track of this, right? Another energy storage make, so we're going up to 4, 9 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. Fairly balanced economy, right? Accessing just a little bit, it seems. You see the energy bar like filling up in the middle of the map, right? Middle of the screen, rather. And there we go. Like, we've stopped scaling energy. I mean, we were making 2 more wind turbines. With this con over here, what is that? About, if it was full, it'd probably be close to, what, 1,000 energy per second? But we have 25k energy in the bank. So we can do like any transition we want, right? Wind could drop to 2. We could make an advanced bot lab. Could make an aircraft plant and like 10 bombers. Maybe not exactly 10. I think they were 5,200 energy, right? But the point still stands, right? This is strong in a few different ways, right? On the macro side of things, like we can afford to transition and put up these really energy intensive structures, con turrets, T2 labs, air labs, and bombers. And on the other side of the coin, we're spending less metal and build power, scaling wind like you would normally see around a lab like this. Like thinking of like Chisato or something like that, who would have like 4 cons scaling wind over here, construction turrets, like, you know, next to the lab so they can, you know, do both tasks, right? I have a con over here, con turret over there. But autopilot's pretty much eliminating that and using this extra metal and build power for more units. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Is this an interesting style? See, even adding on more energy storage, right? 6 energy storage, 10 minutes into the game, which is pretty unusual. You don't normally see players go up this. Maybe you might see 3 max if they're thinking about making a T2 transition, but yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Is this an interesting style? Is this something different than what you're normally looking at? Is there anything I'm missing from the explanation? So thanks for watching if you made it this far. Hope it was insightful. And I've been working on incorporating this into my own play. So thank you, Autopilot, for spilling the beans on this great strat and macro style. And see you guys in the next cast.